Last week, we learned that Mr. Brian Adamson is selling 100% of his real estate. We also learned that he is likely to pivot into higher end properties, Class B, Class A, single family homes. He's not sure where just yet, whether that will be back in his current market of Michigan or somewhere else in the country. But there was a little caveat in that discussion that got a lot of us talking. In that video, besides telling us he's selling all his real estate, he highlighted almost quickly that he stumbled across a new skill that he frankly did not know he had, that has proved to be a large and consistent income producer. Lots of you wanted us to dig into this more. So, Brian, what is this skill that you stumbled into?
So, it turns out that when you help people get what they want, you subsequently get everything you want. And we always talk about this, Mike, the power and proximity, right? So many years ago, I got my first real estate mentor after I'd been doing real estate for 8 years on my own. Finally paid to get in the room, paid over, was $40,000 initially. It was another almost $20,000 back in like 2015, 2016. So go in, I get all the stuff that I needed, all the stuff that was missing that I wasn't even aware that was missing, right? Because we know what we know what we don't know, but you don't know what you don't know until you get in a room full of people smarter than you, because you didn't even have the capacity to think that far through, right? So I finally pay all this money, I get into this room, I go out, I start killing it. Well, there were a lot of other people that had spent $60,000, $70,000, even $100,000 that still hadn't done a deal. So I just started helping people. I had excess deal flow. I didn't know what wholesaling meant back then, but that's what essentially what I started doing. I would wholesale these deals in my excess deal flow because I was heavy flipping back then. And then even for some of these people, we would go and use my crew, do the renovation. So we made everything from top to bottom on the spread, right? Well, it was some people that I helped out in San Diego who had never been to my market, which was in Detroit at the time. Flipped the property for them, sent them a check for 20-something grand. They were like, wait a minute, wait, this time out. Like,
what just happened?
What? Right, like what just happened, right? So they twisted my arm, and I literally mean twisted my arm, convinced me to get on social media in 2018 and let more people know as to what I was doing in the background. And that was the birth of my first coaching program. And very quickly, word got out, things spread, and we did like $1 million in our first 8 months of starting this coaching program in 2018. And then we had international presence, and we had students in Denmark and Japan and Afghanistan and all throughout the States, because my remote process works anywhere domestically if you use the framework. And did that for many years until last year, where, you know, I got the tap on the shoulder from my business partner upstairs and convinced me to pivot into, Russell Brunson has this theory of, whenever you start a coaching or consulting business, you should go back and help who you were 5 years ago. Okay. So when I first got out of corporate and pivoted, well, I was helping people that were stuck in the rat race get free through real estate investing. So then I go out, build multi-million-dollar coaching program over the years. And then, so my burden in this season has been called to help more coaches, consultants, and experts like monetize their messages, their skill set, and deploy it into the marketplace to help other people. So that's what we started doing last year. But that's it, right? I think if we take the posture of understanding all of our experiences, unique, challenging, and otherwise, are not for us, but for the benefit of helping others, then you go out there and help as many people as you possibly can, as you do. And subsequently, you make money as a result of doing it. And it's not a secret sauce, but it does take some intentionality. It does take some vulnerability of being able to put yourself out there. And it certainly takes consistency so people can know, like, and trust you.
Yeah. It's really funny hearing you walk through that, because I've been on this journey with you. I've known a lot of this stuff is coming, because, again, we talk nearly every week. I'm reminded of a conversation I actually had with Grant Cardone, right? In that conversation with Grant Cardone, somewhere along, it's kind of the middle of the conversation, I said, Grant, you remind me of a snake. And he's like, what do you mean a snake, right? Because a snake has a negative connotation. But what I meant by a snake was, he sheds his skin, right? If you followed Grant Cardone's career, he started with auto sales, right? And then he went to another thing, and then to another thing, and then to another thing. He's potentially running for the governor of California. So, he's shedding his skin, and it's uncomfortable. I'm sure it's painful. It's scary because there's nothing scary about doing what you've already been successful, right? You have a 7-figure coaching business in real estate. It would be easy to stay there. But to your point, you got tapped on the shoulder by a higher presence and basically said, get off your ass and do more. And that's what you're doing.
Yeah. And so talking about going back to previous conversation, it reminds me of when I had the pleasure of interviewing you this year at the ORAD celebration, right? And you talked about how, I believe it was 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That you were kicking yourself in the tail because you felt like you didn't do anything challenging that year, right?
Yep.
And so, yes, everything you said, yes, and more yes, it's like, I do this in my sleep. It's like playing a violin. Everybody's happy, right? Making decent amounts of money as a result. But then it's like, okay, cool. So you got good at that. Thank you. I need you over here now. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
It's weird. I could see it in you last year that it was almost feeling, I don't know if the right word's routine or monotonous, but you were not challenged. You're absolutely right. That interview we had, and again, I shared it with folks on my YouTube channel. By most accounts, 2023 would have been a remarkable year. Made more money than I thought was possible, had more fun, did more crazy things, but I did nothing hard. I did nothing hard. I didn't challenge myself. I just went through the year floating. And it's like, I still look at 2023 as a complete failure. Hence 2024, run a marathon. Hence 2025, try to get to 9.9% body fat as a 53-year-old male, which is hard, right? So I will be doing something hard every year, and maybe that's pivoting, or at someday. I don't know, but it will. I truly believe you've got to be, you, the person, have to be happy. And if you're not happy, even though the people around you and you're helping people and all that, but if you're not happy at your core because you feel there's a bigger challenge or a bigger mission, you got to go, man. You've got to go.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, I get the sense that you may be a little hard-headed as I am. And so when God first started talking to me about all of this, I'm like, no, bro.
No, come on, bro. What are you talking about?
Like, yeah, I do that in the background. You know what I mean? People call me and I'm like, hey, do this, do that. Yeah, good. Okay, talk to you later.
Yeah.
I'm like,
check.
Right. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe he means like do both. And then he made it abundantly clear, like towards the end of last year, Mike, when I tell you that my Monday night calls at 8:30 p.m. have been the thing I've looked forward to most in 7 years, became the most dissatisfying thing that I had to do. And it went on for a span of about 6 weeks. And I was like, okay, I get it. You got my attention. I'm in, right?
I hear you now.
We're closing down our mastermind this year. After the last contract is over, we're done. We stopped taking new students in February. We made a declaration as a company. And of course, they've been pounding in the DM. I'm like, don't do that no more. Right. Yep. And throwing everything into this new season, bro. And to your point, it ain't easy. Now, granted, because I've had success in another context, a lot of the systems, frameworks, methodologies still hold true. But it's starting a new business. It's a new messaging. I built a whole brand for 6-7 years, which I think that probably be good for us to talk about the importance of branding at some point in another episode. But now I'm changing all of my messaging, right? And it's a grind all over again, but I can tell you that I get so much satisfaction from what I'm doing at the very same time, though. And that's how I know I'm in the right place. Although the work is hard, the satisfaction that I get from it is unmatched, bro. It's not work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm grinding right now.
Amen. The fact that you're grinding and it's not work means you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. Yeah. Well, let's get more specific. Again, some people might be listening to this 9, almost 10-minute conversation. Like, okay, so what does Brian really do? Basically what you're doing, and you have proven time and time again, is you can take the work that you've done, building a brand, systems, what worked, what didn't work. You can bottle that up, you can share it with the world and get paid for it. That's essentially the skill that you have stumbled into. Is that fair?
1000%. So much so that one of our so we got this coaching program, my partner and I, called the Purpose to Profits coaching program. And it's everything that it says it is, right? It's helping you take your gifts, discover, develop, and deploy your gifts into your purpose, and go out and be profitable as a result of doing it. So one of our new clients, he's been in for 30 days as of end of March, right? His name is Alex. And he helps marketing agencies land what he calls enterprise clients. So instead of chasing all of these one-off invoices and people that'll never pay you and all of that, he helps them go work with established brands that can pay you in excess of $10,000 a month retainer, right? Enterprise clients. And so we taught him our methodology. And within his first 30 days, he ran his first challenge, did $105,000.
There you go.
So right. So it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, we made a ton of money. You see the awards, all the rest of it, but it's nothing better than transferring what you know to someone else and helping them go and facilitate the business and the life that they want for themselves and others.
Yeah, and again, I don't know Alex at all, but if Alex is like anybody else I've talked to over the years, they never thought doing 105,000 in a challenge, let alone a month or a week, is possible. Their big dream, big goal didn't even let them think 105,000 was possible. So you're showing them that not only 100 grand's possible, but you've had 7-figure days and events. So you have really done all of these things.
Yeah, and his 105,000 was in a day. So
yeah,
now it was 10 hours of work in the build up to that day, but
sure,
essentially that's he made 105 grand in a day. Oh, and by the way, a $15,000 investment.
There you go.
By the way,
that's 7 clients, right? 7 clients.
So 7, yeah, and he invested $15,000 for the coaching program we were offering at the time, right? Yeah, so that's a pretty good ROI in less than 30 days, right? And now you got the framework to go out and continuously do that over and over and over and over again. And I think that's
so
one of the.
Let's talk about Alex, just so people realize what they get for the 15 grand in this example.
Okay.
He could theoretically, like, what would be your recommendation? Clearly, the first challenge probably gets the most new people, but obviously you have a system in place to attract more. Would you recommend a guy like Alex do this monthly, quarterly, biannual, annual? How often would you like to see a guy like Alex just rinse and repeat what he did? What do you think?
So Alex is a little aggressive. Okay. Alex is already have his site. I think his sites are on April 28th week, if I'm not mistaken, for his next one. So he's running like 30 days, perpetuating 30-day cycles right now. Now, what I can tell you though, is he also follows our content framework where he's aggressively and consistently putting out content. By the way, he did that with 20 people in the room.
Wow.
Right. So our methodology shows you how to go get quality over quantity. You don't need a ton of people, just need the right people in the room. And so your messaging strategically repels the people you don't want and attracts the ones that you do. And, that's all a part of the framework and the systems that we teach. So Alex, I think Alex can keep a pace of about every 30 to 45 days throughout the rest of the year and be fine with getting his ideal avatar. Even if you put a little paid advertising behind it, I think he'll be fine. He's got a tremendous following on Twitter of all places. And it's been working for him.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, to go back to kind of last week's conversation where you're selling everything because you're going into this new season. Again, your plan is to ramp up this new season, create cash, and then you're going to take that cash and convert it to higher quality real estate. That's the mission, correct?
For sure. And eliminating debt. I'm at a season where I don't want it. It's a distraction. I want peace in everything I own. Insurance goes up, no big deal. Taxes go up, no big deal. I got no debt service, whatever, So yeah, that's my philosophy has just changed as far as that in this season.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, selling real estate is not a push of a button. Do you think you'll be out of all your real estate? Say, when is it? It's the 14th of May. By end of May, you think you'll be all out?
No, sir. Probably by fall.
Okay.
By
So, but
fall,
this year,
you know, I
this
mean,
year.
because mine is all multifamily, right?
Yeah.
So
Bigger. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna take a little, yeah, it's bigger. It's gonna take a little longer to unwind. But we've sold
Okay.
5 of them. We got 5 left, and yeah, I think through the summer we'd be out by fall.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a mission. It doesn't happen. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow. It's not like anything is, burning down. It's just, you've changed seasons, and this is just the thing you need to do. So we appreciate it. Where can people
For
follow
sure.
you on this journey?
Brian Adamson official, all platforms. And if you guys are interested in coming to one of our challenges, we have one starting on Monday the 21st. It's Purpose to Profits Challenge. It's $17 general admission, $47 VIP. If
There you go,
anything I
folks.
said remotely sounded, appetizing to you, just check it out. It's a couple
There,
bucks.
there you go. Thanks, Brian. Take care.